The following is a presentation of Realtree Outdoor Productions.
There, use your gobble right here on this ridge. When we get up and get the decoy out, I think we'll have a good chance.
Shane, if a hunt gets any better than that, man, I don't know if I can stand it.
I'm telling you, it was very nice this morning. Bird gobbled, worked perfect for us, strutted, gobbled, everything you could want.
Well, he got, yesterday afternoon we was on this turkey. Actually, yesterday morning.
Right.
Got here on the same little ridge line here.
It seemed like afternoon when we got through working.
We were working forever. Gobbled. I bet we worked that turkey for an hour yesterday.
At least, yes.
And yesterday when he gobbled, we was trying to get up the ridge on this same turkey because this big double beard. I remember it. We got good footage of him, and as we was going up the ridge, I guess he could hear us walking. He was cutting the distance coming to us.
Started coming, yeah, pinned us down before we got to the top of the ridge.
That's right. We got about 50 yards from the top of the ridge.
And as you know, we should have been on top of the ridge
that's
yesterday.
Right. But
yeah. This morning,
buddy.
You're right.
See what's laying here too, don't you?
I guarantee
Man,
you.
I enjoyed it,
Smoked him, I did too.
Fun time.
Awesome hunt.
You know what? I don't think there's a better sound than hearing turkeys in the spring. Hi, I'm Bill Jordan, and welcome to Realtree's All-Stars of Spring 6 turkey hunting video. If you've seen our videos in the past, we've showed you some exciting hunts from across the country. Well, I promise you, there's no different in this year's video. We traveled 6 different states and even into Mexico to capture some exciting gobbling action. And we're going to do something different for you this year. We're going to introduce you to the Realtree production crew as they explain to you how we get all this great footage. So we want you to stay with us for some exciting turkey action coming up next right here on Realtree Videos.
to Realtree's All-Stars of Spring 6, Spring of Dreams. And now, here's Bill.
Man. Welcome back, and as promised, we've got some exciting turkey hunts coming up. And speaking of turkey hunts, I got two of my friends just coming in, Michael Waddell and David Blanton. And it's the latter part of the season here in Georgia, and these guys have been turkey hunting this morning. And all I can say
Wait a minute. One of us was turkey hunting, one of us was playing. I was working. I was working, Bill. I was working hard, walking.
Hey, let me tell you, I look back there. We get one bird finally to gobble. Blanton ain't quit calling yet. He's still back. And it's late season. Now, what are you supposed to do late season?
You told me I could call.
Well, I didn't tell you to wear your striker out.
Wait a minute.
You done rubbed the hole.
Hey, it must not have been too good if he's running the camera and he's up there calling it at the same time.
If a turkey come in, he'd never seen it because he was just calling away.
He told me, he said, David, we've had a great year so far. We've got a lot of hunts on video, so you can call this morning if you want to.
We have a lot of problem, folks. You can probably tell that a lot of times we can't tell the cameraman from the hunter, and the cameraman likes to call equally as much.
Hey,
but it works sometimes.
Sometimes it does, but we only heard, one or two this morning?
You're not going to fool me with that beard right there, because that's from your bird about 3 or 4 weeks ago.
That was back when they was gobbling and coming to the call. They're doing that fast walking to the dirty talking, but they're not doing that now.
Not doing that. It's the latter part of the year, but David, we can't complain. We've had an excellent spring. The Realtree cameras have traveled all over the country, but we did have a good year.
We've had an awesome year. We put a lot of hard work in this spring, spent a lot of time in the woods when really overall it was kind of a tough season. Turkeys kind of acted weird at different points in the season, but we came up with some great footage.
We got some hunts, for the first time. My little 6-year-old son, Tyler, was just old enough to take to the woods this year, and he sat beside me on 2 exciting hunts we'll see later. But, Michael, you guys, some of the first hunts we got coming up now, you on some great hunts early on this year.
Exactly. We started spring hunting with the Primos gang and some good friends down there in Florida, Mr. Bob Roberts and Mark Wisnett. But it was a good, started off good, and it ended up good, but it was exciting.
Well, let me ask you this. I got to ask you a personal question. We want to share this with everybody, but did you have any problems, any camera problems this year, or
no,
everything just went well?
I can't think of a mistake I've ever made out there with a camera.
I can't think of a mistake you've ever made, period.
On anything.
Yeah.
But I can recall one time with this guy right here. You remember that hunt a couple years ago? Big D. Our head guy, our chief in charge.
He wasn't the one where
our head honcho cameraman.
Yeah, the man.
The man.
The man. Yeah.
We had a little mental lapse.
A little mental lapse. It's a little bit more than the mental. But we were turkey hunting. I guess it was a couple of years ago, David, and calling to this bird. This bird's just gobbling every time. And
I had worked this bird in.
Yeah, he worked him in as he's running the camera and zooming at the same time. But this bird comes in just gobbling. I mean, it's just going to be an awesome footage. And
awesome.
I was really want to take this bird with a bow, which I have my bow, and decoys out there about 15, 16 yards, get him within bow range, and he's spinning around out there full fan. And right when I'm getting ready, I hear this voice over my shoulder. The camera's not working. I look around. What do you mean the camera's not working? The battery's down. Well, change the battery. Hear a little voice back. Don't have another battery. And this bird's out there doing wheelers around the decoy, and I didn't get a shot. And but David, as much as we're in the woods, things do happen sometimes.
They do happen. That actually happens to be my lowest point in my filming career. But Bill was a gentleman about it. He let me come back to work about 3 weeks later.
After I quit getting mad, but I was over it. It took me 3 or 4 weeks. But David, let's get into the hunts. We do have some exciting hunts that Michael just told us about. So let's look at these exciting hunts from Florida coming up next.
Exciting is exactly right. Realtree cameraman Mitch McEwen and I had a chance to travel to Immokalee, Florida, a little town right north of the Florida Everglades, and hunt Osceola turkeys for a few days. On this particular hunt, I sat behind the camera and tried to capture Mitch taking his first Osceola on video. This is the only turkey he needed to complete his grand slam. I mean, this turkey was red hot and coming hard.
you look at this turkey, man, he has got some spurs on him. He did some gobbling too. Look at there. Old turkey's got a probably 8 or 9 inch beard, and he's got some awesome spurs on him. Good 3-year-old turkey. We got in here this morning, set up on this field. We had heard some turkeys in here yesterday afternoon and gobbling, or yesterday morning actually, and got in here, and we couldn't end up with them, so we came back this morning early daylight and set these decoys up, and old turkeys were roosted right up here behind us and gobbling and gobbling. Sure enough, hit a few calls, and here he came in by himself, so it worked out perfect. This is my first Osceola, and it's special because it finishes up my Grand Slam, and so I'm really tickled with this bird.
Some days, folks, when it's happening, it's just happening. No sooner had we finished up recovering Mitch's bird when we heard another turkey off in the distance. It interrupted our celebration, so we grabbed our gear, moved in a little closer, only this time I was carrying the smoke pole and Mitch was bringing along the camera.
He's coming. He's coming. Grab it. See him.
Whoa! I'm talking about turkey hunting at its best. Look at this dude right here. Good beard on him. Got good spurs. I mean, we was just hunting right back there. Just took a turkey on camera. Heard this one gobbling up here, so we eased on up the edge of the field. Hit him one time, checked him with a cutting, and he gobbled, and I mean, here he came on a string. Seen the decoys committed, come right on into the Fetaflex decoys, strutted all around. I just knew we was gonna see a fight when he started bumping up against that Jake. But the funny thing about it, just before leaving Georgia, I was talking to the people at Kicks Choke Tubes, and I said, man, I need one of those choke tubes. I said, I need one. You know, sometimes we have turkeys hang up out there, you know, 45, 50 yards, and we need something to reach on out there and touch them. So I got this choke tube, and I've shot it. We shot every turkey at 10 yards, and just over 15 was the furthest turkey we shot. So I'm telling you, unbelievable here in Immokalee, Florida. Turkeys gobbling everywhere. Just fine Osceola hunting. This is the best place I've ever hunted for Osceolas.
Well, after leaving Florida, I picked up a Realtree camera and took it to South Carolina to hunt with an old friend and Realtree pro staffer, Eddie Salter. Eddie and I were guests of Terry Hires, the owner of Blackwater Hunting Services. And on the first morning of the hunt, it didn't take long for Terry to put us on a bunch of gobbling toms, despite the nasty rainy conditions Mother Nature had provided. Now, folks, watch closely as this hunt unfolds. You're about to see something that very rarely happens while you're hunting in the woods with Eddie Salter. Now that, my friends, is the rarity. Not many longbeards get this close to old Eddie Salter without taking a truck ride back to Alabama with him. Hey, it can happen to anyone, even the pros.
And, you know, of course, that's what's exciting about turkey hunting. Sometimes you win and the turkey wins most of the time. But, you know, we couldn't ask for a better hunt this morning with the weather conditions, you know, and actually getting birds to gobble. And, you know, we had our chance, but, hey, we're just getting started, and we're going to get after them today. And that's can be a tip for you. Don't give up just because it's raining, because that old turkey, he's in love in the spring of the year.
Before I knew it, it was opening day in my home state of Georgia. And who better to chase the Peach State Longbeards with than the current Grand National champ, Chris Kirby.
Here. We had 2 or 3 of them. Man, there's turkeys everywhere. We just left those turkeys back over that other ridge over there. They gobble 3 or 4 times. We hear the hens right with them. Better off just letting them go for another day. Man, there's turkey sign everywhere here. We're going to drop off this bottom and try to get on another turkey. Let's check them one time before we get going too far. Bang, right there. That's the turkey you're looking for. He gobbles right away, jumps right on you. Let's go get set up.
Now, folks, Georgia's not an easy place to take a turkey, much less make a turkey video. Chris's championship hen talk would definitely be put to test on these hard pressure times.
Yep. Georgia longbeards. 1 minute you're walking down the road, the next minute you're sitting up on a gobbling turkey. We were right off the bat this morning, we were working some turkeys and they were with hens not really doing it right. And when you get a situation like that, you just want to get up, start walking and move to other turkeys, because you call those turkeys, you're just going to spook them off, or you're going to make them call shy. We just beat foot, got on the road, started walking, going crazy, come up over a little rise, called, turkey hit it right away. And that's what you're looking for. You're looking for that turkey that jumps right on your call right away. We got into the woods just through this little green field here. We had no sooner gotten set up, and I'm saying, here they come. And as you saw, they came pretty quick. I didn't get a chance to shoot the big long-bearded strutter, but they got a little close. They were standing right behind 2 trees from me, and when they were going away, I took the best shot I had and made it count, and got myself another great Georgia longbeard.
Well, while we're hunting with championship callers, here's a hunt I captured on video with 2-time Grand National champion Ricky Joe Bishop and outdoor rider Roger Hook from the 00 Ranch in Georgia.
They're close. Let's get back.
You want to talk about calling? Roger's no slouch himself. Although he's known more for his work as an outdoor rider, Roger's won his share of turkey calling contests. Between him and Ricky Joe, these turkeys' odds weren't too good.
Shoot the back bird, hold the white light.
I can't do it. I can't do it. Tell you what, let me get my head down.
All right, man. Hey.
All right. Hey, he's a good bird. He's a good bird.
All right, I ain't believing that.
I tell you what, we worked hard for him.
Evening time, too.
Woo! 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Tell you what, Roger, that was awesome.
It really was an awesome hunt. My first day to hunt in Georgia, and we harvested a gobbler.
I tell you, I told you Double O is loaded with gobblers, and I thought it was going to be a little easier, but we had to work for them. We've been going since daylight this morning, and there's been birds, gobblers with hens in every pasture here, in every field, and we just kept after them. I think persistence paid off, and we finally got over here in this little shady place with these pines. It got up pretty hot today, and hit them with a little soft call, and we had to do a quick setup, and man, it worked out great.
It really did. And I tell you, when the birds came in, we were fortunate to be able to watch 2 birds strut quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
And able to harvest one of those birds.
Yep, they strutted up and saw something. The hen saw something come back, and Michael gave you the signal. Well, it worked out great.
It really did.
Congratulations, first Georgia bird.
My first one, thank you.
I think that's what's really great. We get a chance to travel all over the country and see a lot of different things.
Oh, gosh,
and always a lot of folks.
Right.
Folks, you know, welcome back. I'm sitting with 2 other members of the Realtree team, production team, Steve Finch to my far right and Mitch McEwen. And Mitch, man, I got to congratulate you.
Pulled it off finally.
You did good. This guy right here completed his Grand Slam. He got from behind the camera to in front and completed his Grand Slam on turkeys down in Florida, the Osceola, but congratulations.
You know, the Primos crew invited Michael and I down, and it was just a fantastic place, and everything went real well.
You and a lot of turkeys. And, you know, folks, a lot of times, you know, here at Realtree Outdoor Productions, you know, we get a chance to travel all over the country, and we deer hunt and elk hunt and obviously turkey hunting here today. And, you know, I have a lot of people always respond to us saying, boy, I really like your television show. You got great videos. And there's a lot of reason for that. Us being the hunters in front of the camera, we actually got the easiest job. It's these guys right here running the cameras have the hardest job. And Steve, I just want to compare notes between you and Mitch, but you actually went to film school to do this.
Yeah, I found out that I wanted to go into some form of TV and film production, and went to school down at Georgia State and studied for about 4 years in that medium. And I just really enjoy that. It's something I have a passion for and enjoyed it. But little did I know I was going to be in the outdoors, you know, trekking around with a camera, hiking 6 to 10 miles a day in sometimes. But it's been really a treat, and to apply what I know into the outdoor industry.
Well, you came from the actual film production into hunting without having a whole lot of hunting experience. And Mitch, you did just the opposite. You had some hunting experience, and through some Sony film, you know, schools, and also from the camera schools that we have at, you know, there at home. But that's how you got into it.
Exactly. I grew up in the outdoors from a young age, so I had the hunting experience, but lacked the technical experience. So, you know, through your dedication with the education that you provide us and the equipment, I've been able to really progress in that nature. And with Finch being a technical man, I think we complement each other a lot, and a lot of instances. And like, I keep him from trying to light a turkey set, and he reminds me to take off my lens cap all the time. So, you know.
It balances out somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
But Steve, you know, we do something for all of our camera guys, and we just want to touch on it briefly, but we bring in, you know, we have a staff of 5 full-time cameramen, editors, and producers, and we actually have 8 or 9 freelance camera guys, but we actually have a camera school at our home in Columbus, Georgia.
Yeah, we're always trying to strive to increase our production quality. I mean, we always have the great footage when we go out there in the field every year, but one thing we try to do is strive to raise that level of production quality. And so what we do every year, we have a camera school. We look at all of our footage, we critique it, and then we get back together and kind of assess it, and in a positive way, do some constructive criticism. And go through and say, hey guys, you know, this is what we did good, and this is what we don't need to do. But we go back out with a new vision of what we need to accomplish, and it really helps the guys really know where to go and how they've been doing, and a little like a checkup, you could say.
You know, it really helps. And you know, I talked to David earlier on here in the video, and we talked about, you know, him having a equipment failure, you know, with the battery running down on one of my hunts a couple of years ago. But you and I, on one of your first turkey hunts, had one of the best experiences in the world down at Encinitas Ranch in Texas. And, you know, the turkeys were on the roost. And, you know, one morning, I think the 3rd morning we were there, I said, Steve, we really are getting there a little bit late. Let's get there way before daylight and go ahead and get set up. Because the turkeys had you know, when they come down off the roost, they pushed a certain way beside this little mesquite clump, and we did that. Got up about 30, 45 minutes early, and it was pitch black dark. We walked from the truck, you know, through, you know, several hundred yards and set up in the dark. And
well, you know, it was pretty exciting, and Bill was building up this whole hunt the whole time. And hey, Steve, this is going to be great. You've never been out to Texas. You're going to get great footage, but little did he tell me about what was lurking in the dark out there.
Well, we didn't really know what was lurking in the dark, but there was a bull. Springtime. He's looking for cows, and you know, it's pitch black dark, and I look off in the distance. Now you got to take in mind, folks, Steve's under a camouflage cover with the camera and the tripod setting up ready to film. He really can't see off to his left and right real good underneath that net. And I looked out there and I saw this big blob in the dark, and I said, what in the world is that? And I said, it must be another mesquite clump. And all of a sudden, when I looked back, that mesquite clump had moved about 10 or 15 yards. And I said, something's moving out there. And anyway, here's this huge bull. He's looking for cows, spring of the year.
And here's Bill. He wouldn't tell me what's going on. He just turned over his shoulder and said, "Don't move."
I tell Steve, I said, don't move. Just don't say a word. Just sit here quiet, because I want this bull to go on by us and not check us out. Well, 45,000 acre ranch. Now, you would think this bull could go off in any direction.
Right.
He liked our mesquite clump. And so I'm giving Steve a play-by-play. Steve, don't move. He's coming this way. And daylight's coming. I can see the bull better. And all of a sudden, he gets about 8 yards behind Steve. And Steve said, "What's he doing now?" I said, "I don't know, but you got to hold on to that camera real tight."
But the thing is,
I tell you, the look in his eye, and that bull's up there stomping, and snorting everywhere, and he can't see a thing. He said, "Please tell me if he comes my way." I said, "Don't worry, we will." And all of a sudden, he looked off away from us. He looked back to us, and there was a cow about 30 yards. And finally, he started moseying over to that cow, but close call.
Yeah, close call. But Mitch, I wasn't too worried. All I knew is that I had to outrun Bill, and I'd be okay.
That's right. As long as you got the slowest one
And
there.
believe me, he would not have done it.
I bet.
Well, we're going right now get to some hunts. And, this past year, I had one of my most memorable springs. And, Mitch, you were able to enjoy one of those hunts with me with my 6-year-old son, Tyler. And, what an outstanding hunt for a father to be with a son on the first hunt. And he sat beside me, and we had a ball, but it was a great hunt.
I really enjoyed it. It was very special for me as well as a cameraman to capture that special time on film.
Oh, it was a lot of fun. We're going to look at that hunt right there. And we're also going to take you to Texas for 3 other hunts. Come back to Georgia with Michael Waddell. So let's take a look.
Go right up here and we'll try to call him again, okay? Be real quiet. Let's see if he makes stop again, okay? Right there, Dan. Sit right there. Just gobble right there, Tyler.
Me and my dad were glad to see this turkey.
I don't know who's more excited, me or Tyler. Right here, Tyler and I were really excited, and what we did right here, we didn't call as much, and finally this turkey came right on in.
We finally got one. You're not gonna believe this. He was behind a tree. Hey, hey, let's go. Hey, come here. Come here. We gonna go see him. Turn around. Turn around. Turn around. Daddy, finally we got him.
Get him, Daddy.
Huh?
I want to get him, Daddy.
Let's go.
I'm gonna go get him.
Come on. Here. Hey, come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here.
Go get my turkey.
Come here. Let's go see him flapping up there.
My turkey.
All right. Come on. Come on.
Turkey. My turkey.
Oh man. Come here.
Turkey.
Man, you are something else. You are quiet as a mouse. You know it? Oh, folks, what a great morning hunt this morning. Let's take a look at this bird. Come here, pal. Let's take a look at him. What a beautiful bird.
Wow.
Isn't that pretty? Look at his tail feathers. Remember how they were big and wide when they were up? Here, sit down right here. Let's talk about it. All right, this is your first turkey. Give me 5. Oh, man, look at here. I got to show you this. Remember talking about the longer beard? Remember the ones yesterday had a short one?
Yeah.
So what we did today, we waited on a big one right there, didn't we? Hey.
Yeah, but guess what? How did he get his face blue?
How to get his face blue? That's just his color. They got colors of blue, and see the red and the white in there?
I didn't see the blue when I saw him.
Well, you know, when we saw him, his head was all white, because that was the way when he was in full strut and stuff. But we had a lot of fun. You know, folks, we've had a great morning this morning, and what really makes it special, and you know,
we saw him and he came out, so we shot him.
Well, that's exactly right. We saw him and he came out and we shot him. But having this young'un right here, you know, he's been with me a couple of times, and we called up a couple of jakes yesterday. Came right up close to us. Come here. Came right up close to us. And this morning, we got on the bird earlier and just got a wrong setup on him. He got about 15 to 20 yards from us. I could have shot. We couldn't got him on film. And I think, unfortunately, because of maybe me hurrying a little bit, wanting to get this boy a turkey right there, you know, we had some trees and some brush in front of us, and you know, what I could see and what the cameraman could see was probably 2 different things. We probably didn't get a real good, you know, hunt on camera as far as the shot, but everything else was perfect.
Tell what, folks, we got on this bird. It's 11 o'clock. I hadn't had a gobble for 3 hours. Finally got one gobble, and he gobbled strong. I changed the box call, and he gobbled real good, and he come right down to the creek, and he went back. He's on the other side of the creek. He just won't fly across, so we're going to have to find a way. We're going to have to go up the river as far as we can and get across and come back down on the other side of the river. If we get on the same side with him, we might have a chance, so we'll give that a shot.
If you've watched our turkey hunting videos in the past, you know that Texas is a regular stop for the Realtree team. There's nothing like chasing a big, hard-gobbling Rio Grande turkey, and Brad is intent on making one of these big boys dance for the Realtree cameras. As quickly as he can, Brad circles back and gets on the same side of the water with the turkey.
Man, beautiful, beautiful hunt. My goodness. Hey folks, we just had a great morning here in South Texas. Got on a bunch of birds right on the creek here this morning, gobbling their heads off. When you know it, they all fly across the creek. Can't get to them. We had to work up and down the creek for a long ways. We went 3 hours out working a gobbler, and here about 11 o'clock, boom, we got one to gobble. But then again, he was across the creek. I thought he was going to come over. I changed the box call, and he fired up good, and he came right to the edge, but he wouldn't fly over. So I had to get on my lazy duff and make a big circle and come in down the creek on his side, hit that box call again. Boy, he gobbled. We set the decoys out, and it wasn't no time. He was right on top of us. Just proves that getting good position is the most critical part, and then changing calls once in a while, find out what fires them up, is the key to success. I tell you what, we had a great morning here in South Texas hunting these Rio Grandes.
The next day, well-known hunter Jerry Martin finds himself working several hard gobbling toms that had been roosted the night before. As we all know, hens sometimes make the hunt very tough. As luck would have it, these old girls couldn't help coming and investigating the cause, bringing those old toms with them. Little did they know that with a little help from the Realtree Extra Brown Camo, Jerry was waiting by a mesquite tree with a black powder shotgun to spoil their parade.
And would you look at the hooks on this bird here? That is a great spur right there. That's what happens when everything works out right. We've been having a fit with these henned up birds the last couple days. Last night, me and my buddy Michael Waddell split up and tried to roost some birds. He went one way and I went the other. He got on a coyote howler and got these birds to gobbling and moved in and roosted the birds. We came in here first thing this morning, got set up. Everything worked out right. The hens and the gobblers flew down together just like they normally did. We gave a few soft yelps and they just moved our way, and everything worked out great, as you can see.
Here's a turkey hunt with Michael Waddell. Just watch what happens as Michael works these roosted gobblers on the edge of a cow pasture. The bird flew down right in the middle of the decoy spread just before dawn. I guess you might say he is not too happy with this Jake decoy.
Whew, you know, when you get up early every morning and people say you're crazy for getting up at daylight and chasing these old turkeys, obviously they've never had a hunt like we had this morning. As you can see, the decoys is a key factor as part of this hunt. I'm hunting with my brother-in-law, Shane Collier. He had roosted these turkeys last night. This old big old boy had lots of hens with him. This turkey been having hens with him all season. We've been having a hard time getting on this turkey, but because every year the turkeys use this field right here. It's pretty open, it's thick around the edges, but pretty hardwoods, and these turkeys roost right on the edge of this field. And they always end up, the ones we've most time got on, and so they fly down this field, and once they fly down, you can't get to them. They always see you, and they always got hens. They won't really respond to calling real well. So what we did, we just come up with a game plan of putting the decoys out. We put a strutting Jake, put a hen out, that, almost like she's sitting, getting ready to be bred. And then, as you've seen, the turkey pitched out of the limb, flew right down, lit by the decoy spread, and just come out there. And but he didn't like this old Jake. He poked one of his eyeballs almost completely out, just pecking and grinding on him. And I guess when this big strutting Jake here twisted around in the wind, he didn't like that too good, and he started kind of getting nervous and walked out and went in and took him. But this right here is why you get up early in the morning to hunt turkeys. Awesome Georgia turkey.
Now we're going to take you on a hunt on the Encinitas Ranch and Realtree Pro staffer Joe Drake. Joining Joe on this hunt is Jenny Commander of Harris Publication Magazine.
Let me give him a little black magic.
What a gobbler. What a trophy.
Cute.
What a trophy, Jeannie.
Wow. Joe,
Look at
those spurs.
Look at the spurs on this turkey. I bet
How-
they're close to 1.5 inches long.
Wow, how old do you think he is?
He's a 4 or 5 year old gobbler, I'd say. Easy. Dominant turkey. We messed up when he come right here. I thought, when I called a little bit, I was trying to make him gobble for the camera.
Right.
And he cut to the right, and I said, I've messed up. But what had happened, another turkey was coming along the other side of this row of mesquite, and he went to cut him off. There was two right here. I was thinking maybe they'd come in here, but he cut that other turkey off right there. I know it's not much of a shot for the camera, but that's all we had. You know, you got
to do what you have to do. Look at this.
He is beautiful, isn't he? Probably a good solid 10-inch beard, beautiful turkey. You got one more tag left? Let's go fill it for you.
All right, let's do it.
You know, I really enjoyed editing Michael's hunt with that turkey attacking that decoy. That was just awesome.
You know, it is awesome. I tell you, anytime you get out in the woods and you get the unusual, and that was enjoyable seeing that, you know, turkey attack the decoy. But, you know, speaking of unusual, This guy right here, this is Ray Brown. Ray's our chief editor for Realtree Outdoors, our television show and our videos. And you have a little bit different background than some of the other guys who have been on here that work for us. And how about explain a little bit of that to us?
Yeah, I came from Houston, Texas. I worked for NASA about 10 years. I was in charge of editing all of the shuttle video that came down. And mostly everything you saw on CNN or anything else having to do with shuttle, that's what we had to put together.
So you're telling me at Realtree Outdoors, if we get a shuttle out there, a Realtree shuttle, you have the opportunity, you know how to film it.
I've got the experience.
Hey,
I can do that.
Hey, that will work. That may be next in the cards, but you never can tell. But, you know, one of the things, and I think like the other guys, you've really enjoyed coming to the outdoor side. And you know, we have a wide diversity of turkey, deer and turkey, and other things.
Oh, yeah. And I was, when I first got here, of course, like you said, I'm not a hunter myself. And but my dad is, so we kind of grew up in the background, shooting dove, and that type of atmosphere. But like you said, I never hunted anything. But putting the stuff together, and once you put it together, you know, having to say, okay, now you have to be in the hunter's shoes,
right,
and to go back. I can put it together the way that I feel like I see it,
exactly,
but I'm not a hunter, and so a hunter will come in here and say, no, that's not quite how that happens. And you know, sometimes you kind of look at it and go, well, why not? You know, but you're not a hunter, so you have to go with what the hunter says, and you learn so much, you know, because I sit there, and now I think I can put together a hunting video. Still can't hunt, but I still can't shoot, but at least I can put together a good hunt right now.
Well, you know, one thing right there, we do get you out in front of the or behind the camera out in the field, and that really helps you too. You know, learning the outdoors and learning the sequence, how hunts are supposed to happen and do happen. And that has to help you a lot.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And when I got the opportunity to go to Montana last year and really froze to death, thank you.
Yeah, we put you on a cold hunt just for that reason.
Oh yeah, but it was really neat to see once you get out there and you get behind the camera, as you said, and you get back and you go, oh yeah, I remember that. I remember how that worked. Right. I remember that, and then you start putting yourself in the shoes of the other guys who they go out 3 and 4 and 5 months in a row, and you come back and say, okay.
You get a clear picture.
Exactly,
with it.
Exactly.
Well, what we're going to do, we're going to watch some of those hunts that Ray's the editor. We got some hunts coming from Pennsylvania, New York, Mexico, and our home state of Georgia. So let's take a look.
This spring morning finds me and Dwayne Like, who's the business manager for Dave Marcus. Of course, Dave drives the number 71 Realtree Monte Carlo on the NASCAR circuit. And as you know, we've got a gobbler who is fired up on a hardwood ridge a couple of 100 yards away, slowly making his way to Dwayne and I. Now, this is Dwayne's very first morning in the turkey woods. It's something he's always wanted to try. And boy, does he get spoiled. You know, Dwayne's probably still scratching his head wondering what the big fuss is about turkey hunting. But as we all know, it doesn't happen like this very much. Finally, the big gobbler commits to the decoy. Now, Dwayne has very strict instructions on waiting to shoot until I tell him to do so. Wow, this is awesome footage. But what Dwayne doesn't know, at this time, the warning light in the viewfinder of the camera started blinking, indicating that I'm about to run out of tape. And I've got a good idea about how long I've got, roughly 2 minutes. This gobbler is completely fooled by the decoy. I mean, he has no idea we're anywhere in the world. But my warning light is blinking faster and faster.
Shoot, shoot, shoot.
As you're about to see, the screen goes completely black. Well, folks, you saw it. 5 seconds after Dwayne shot this longbeard, the battery went blip. I mean, you didn't realize that.
I had no idea that was going on. that your battery is running low.
What do you think about your first turkey hunt ever?
It was awesome. I mean, to come out here and have a turkey come out and put on a show like that and able to get a shot like that.
And what did I tell you right
It was
after you
awesome.
shot this turkey?
That it's not gonna be like this every time, but
Wow.
this is one time I'll remember for a long time because it was a great hunt.
Folks, first time for Dwayne, business manager for Dave Marcus. First time turkey hunting. It doesn't happen like this all the time, but what a great hunt.
He's the one that called him in here and gave me that shot that I had right there.
Well, we finally found a willing turkey. It took him a while to get in.
Took
but
a little
boy,
while.
When he started coming down that hill and that battery light started blinking faster and faster and faster, I knew we didn't have much time, so I went to church Sunday and the good Lord blessed us.
It paid off.
It worked out great. Congratulations, man.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Fantastic.
Now just ease up just a little bit more. We'll hide it. Ease up a little bit more. A little bit more. A little bit more. All right, that's good right there. That's good. You ready to go? All right, here's your cushion. I got us a good ground blind built. I built it yesterday, and I think we're going to be in good shape. Let's go out there and see.
I like it.
That's pretty good blind, isn't it?
It's pretty good, Daddy.
I know. How about get in there and let's go hide right quick. Well, Daddy came in here yesterday and built it and everything. Let's put your cushion right here. Let's get this head down, okay? Let me get it all to the back. Get it all fixed up. Oh, got it? All right, let me pull it down. I got it. I think we're good now. All right, let me have your hat. Well, is your hat over there? Give me your hat just a second.
What is it?
Oh, you got it over there by you? There it is. Yeah, I was looking right at it. Carl, just a minute, okay? You see through this hole here? Right through there. Carl, you just gobble right there. Just gobble right out in front of us right there.
Should I close my ears? Should I close my ears? Dad, should I close my ears?
Yeah, just. Don't move, darling. Don't move. Don't move. Okay, hold still. We got us a long beard. Hey, give me 5. All right, look at him. Oh, a good one. Man, you my lucky charm. Hey, you know what? This is our second bird this year, isn't it? You are something else. You are one good turkey hunter. Hey, let's put him right here and let's look at him, okay? What a beautiful bird. Isn't that pretty? Huh? What'd you think? You know, when we found that feather right there, you know, coming hunting today, I knew it was going to be a lucky day for us. What'd you think?
Maybe it was the same one from right here, you see?
Yeah, well, you know, it could have been. You know, we've probably seen this bird in this field before, haven't we? Hey, look, Tyler, and look at that beard. That's a long one. That's what we came after right there, that long beard, didn't we? Though, that's his beard right there. And then right here is what you call his spurs. See right here on his feet? That kind of tells what kind of age he is. That's a good turkey. You know, he's probably 3 years old. Yeah, that's old for a turkey, though. Hey, look right here.
I think it was a baby.
Hey, isn't that pretty? Look here, Tommy. Isn't that pretty? He's a good turkey.
Glad we shot.
I'm glad we shot too. Come on. I know, deer tracks, yep. He's a big old turkey, too.
Bigger than ours.
Yep. Exactly.
Yocora is a quaint old Mexican town. An afternoon walk through her streets gives real insight to how Mexicans work and live. For Tom Miranda, it was a step back in time to a slower pace, a simpler lifestyle, a look into a culture vastly different than his own, a way of life removed from technology and greed, a community poor in pesos but rich in happiness. The next morning, Tom was in position at first light, turkeys gobbling all around, yet after flying down, refused to come to the grass. And this was the only pasture for miles, so quiet calling and patience was all that he could do.
Here's the situation. Gobblers are all around us. We've got gobblers strutting 80 yards out there with hens. Gobblers hammering over here. I've got one gobbler I've heard back over here. With that big strutting bird right there, won't come into this decoy. He just won't. Did you hear that? Gobbler right over here. Wait a minute, we got one coming in right here. Coming in right on my right. Coming in quiet. Right to the decoy.
Okay, here he is. Oh, he's huge. Look at the white tips and white buff on a large fan. And about a 10-inch beard. The Mexican Gould. Hunting in the Sierra Madres. We got in here to this little field, and it's in the middle of nowhere. There were turkeys gobbling all around us. Well, it got light, they flew down, they were with hens, they strutted. They were close, but they weren't close enough. Finally, this one lowers his guard, works right over to the decoy, 15 steps. I've hunted the 4 subspecies of North American wild turkeys. By far, the Gould is the toughest. They talk a lot, but this is rough country. Took us 2.5 hours to drive in here this morning. Had to get up at 3:30. Incredible.
Never fails, Pennsylvania. The first week of turkey season, it's always raining.
Yeah, last night there was 4 nice mature gobblers up there, so I know they've got to be right here somewhere, man.
Hey, near that corner.
Yeah, they've been coming out.
Let's hoot here, see if we can get one to gobble. Here they are. Yeah, you were exactly right. I'm gonna slip up here and we're gonna set up right up here on this line here. Put the decoy out.
Want to back off in here a little bit.
Okay, good luck.
Michael had the chance to travel to Pennsylvania to hunt with Realtree Pro staffer and friend Matt Moret and Jeff Scavazzo of Strut and Rut Lodge, and the afternoon before they had located several longbeards. And by the sounds of things, they're not far away. Slowly, turkeys start entering the cornfield. The gobblers can't be more than 50, 60 yards in the brush. Ever so cautiously, this big barrel-chested Tom surveys the field. A hen has walked up right beside the camera. She's doing a little curiosity putt. Almost like a cluck.
Whew, man, what a morning. It doesn't get much better than that, I tell you. In Pennsylvania, you usually don't see multiple gobblers, and that was just incredible. This is a real nice turkey. Jeff was exactly right. Those turkeys came right from the corner of that field, right where he said they were roosted. It sounded like 2 gobblers, but it turned out to be 3 mature gobblers, it looked like, and a couple jakes, and they came just like they were supposed to, but it doesn't always happen like that. Especially here where the birds get hunted, a lot of pressure. We're fortunate enough to be on some ground that the guys haven't messed with too much this week, and these birds haven't been called to. That's one of the secrets to turkey hunting. If you can find places like that, especially in high-pressured areas where the birds haven't been messed with, your chances are just so much better. Later on in the morning, these birds didn't come in right off the roost. They stayed on the roost a long time. They stayed up there till about 7:30, which is really not the norm. Those birds stayed up there because of this weather, but we knew that they were going to come to this field because of the rain and the wind.
The following morning finds Michael in front of the camera with the shotgun, and Matt, he's sitting at the camera, and I guess it gives a new definition to running a camera, as you're going to see on this hunt. And boy, they got lots of turkeys gobbling on the roost, big time. This hunt will give you a new appreciation for a cameraman. Things are proceeding very nicely. Michael's calling, the turkeys are gobbling, they're making their way towards the camera. Things are going great. It's right in here that things start to go a little haywire. These turkeys are close. And Michael is looking at them strutting longbeards. The turkeys make their way to the right. The Problem is, Matt is trying to find the turkeys through the viewfinder instead of with his naked eye. Now Michael has a clear shot at this point. But poor Matt, he is having a tough time with his camera. He cannot get these turkeys in the frame. Finally, Matt captures the turkeys through the viewfinder and gives Michael the shoot signal immediately. But Michael knows the confusion and realizes there's not a lot of footage of these turkeys up to this point, so he's milking it, trying to get more footage. Now listen carefully. Matt falls off his stool while running the camera, spooking one of the gobblers. How in the world this hunt ever made it on camera, I'll never know. But good job, Matt. A for effort.
Yeah, buddy. Matt, the cameraman, buddy. I don't know how good I did, but I tell you, it gives you a whole new respect for your job, I promise you.
I'm telling you, it's fun though, the video.
Oh man, it's a blast. You know, it gives you so much more respect for the birds, because what happens is you get to see what they do up close.
Exactly.
I've learned so much from filming, and this is like the first time I've ran the camera, especially for you guys. It's just incredible. I had a blast. I mean, I just hope it turns out all right.
I give you that crash course last night, but like I said, I hadn't seen the footage. I hope you did a good job. But hey, the most important thing, we had fun this morning. Turkeys worked right. And are they some turkeys gobbling this morning, or
I'll
what?
tell you what, Pennsylvania is really coming on. It really is. Bugs are getting bad. I think we should go get some breakfast.
That'll work for me. Let's go run Chef down. All right, my man. We've been hearing that turkey from across that road. I know he's got to be right on this finger right here somewhere.
It's tough to tell when you don't know where the lay of the land.
I know this just kind of goes down and let's just...
Let's hit him here.
Let's hit him here, because he's not going to be far.
Man, he's right over that ridge.
He's on top of us. Yeah. Just slide up that double trail.
After some great turkey hunting in Pennsylvania, Matt and Michael drove up to New York to hunt with good friend and current Grand National turkey calling champion Chris Kirby of Quaker Boy Calls. They're hunting a longbeard behind Chris's house that has been hunted for a few seasons, and this is not a dumb turkey by any means. The noise you hear is a tree farm and the machinery working the tree farm. Great calling by Chris and Matt has lured in this hen. And boy, it sure is hard to go wrong with live decoy. Just watching this longbeard, you can tell he's an old, mature bird, doing a lot of looking and very little strutting. This is a classic spring morning turkey hunt. That's an awesome hunt, guys.
Put it on him, baby.
You did.
Man, what a New York turkey.
I'm telling you.
What a turkey anywhere. I mean,
Absolutely. You hunt a whole season just to get one hunt to work out like that.
that was just absolutely incredible.
Everything was just perfect on it.
Oh.
I thought that machinery was going to get us a little bit. Man,
I'll
look
tell
at
you,
him.
that hen came up, and I mean, she was just right on top of me.
She had to be, what, 2-3 yards from you?
I don't know, I had my eyes closed, but earlier you were over there scratching in the leaves, and I was doing some soft clucking and purring. Michael was doing some soft calling. Drove him nuts. Michael's giving me the kill sign. The turkey's behind all this brush. I can just
Meanwhile,
hear
I
him.
got my bead right on the turkey.
Oh, I'm
going,
sure you could have.
All right. We just had a little better angle. We had to be patient.
I really appreciate it. But we got some great footage of
We
him.
sure did.
And I tell you, that soft stuff drives them nuts, doesn't it?
It does. And you know, a lot of times when you get, like, these turkeys are used to these farmers working in the field. I'm sure you can hear it. And
Yeah.
they're picking up trees back here right now. And
We can see them.
we can see them, and the turkeys can see them. But they live here. That didn't
That's
bother
right.
me a bit.
A lot of people think that, you know, turkeys that if you drive through a field or something, you don't spook them real bad because tractors and manure spreaders drive through it all the time. That's what happened in PA yesterday. I
We
mean,
had just a perfect setup too, though. I mean,
Yeah.
the sun was behind us, everything. Sitting in the shadows
that's what you wait all year for.
all season.
Well, I say we go try to find another goblin turkey for you.
Hey,
I
not greedy, but we can try.
You've been putting people on them all week. I appreciate it, Chris. I mean, you don't understand. I just think, I'll tell you one thing that helped us out a bunch, we were hidden well. I mean, we were back in the shadows, and because those turkeys,
You're right.
any
You
other
can't say
time would have
enough
seen
about
us.
good camo.
No,
You
that's
can't. It's
exactly
awesome.
right.
It's awesome.
Let's get him tagged and get him to the truck and go
got
find
it.
another turkey.
We got a long walk.
You're not going to carry him? Why don't you
No.
go get the truck for me?
Yeah. All right.
Folks, I hope you enjoyed those hunts right there as much as I did. And, you know, I tell you what, we took birds just then from Pennsylvania, New York, my home state of Georgia, and even Mexico. And a lot of the credit needs to be given to the National Wild Turkey Federation and their restoration program for the wild turkey. You know, a lot of the habitats have been absent of wild turkeys through a lot of years, and thanks to the National Wild Turkey Federation, we now have a place to hunt in 50 states. But, you know, what about Dwayne Light? A first-time hunter, first time he ever went, he took a bird. I know he was excited. But, you know, the most exciting part for me was taking my 6-year-old son hunting this past year. I was fortunate enough to take 2 birds with him sitting beside me. Those are memories for a lifetime that I'll never forget. But we especially want to thank you for joining us today. We've had a great time sharing our memories with you this past spring. And as I always say, when you have an opportunity, take a child hunting and fishing so they too can enjoy the outdoors. I'm Bill Jordan, and we hope to see you next time for more exciting videos from Realtree Outdoor Productions.
To hunt Rio Grandes in Texas, call Bill Whitfield at 210-494-6421. For great deer and turkey hunting in South Carolina, contact Terry Hires at Blackwater Hunting Services, 803-584-0747. Try the Double O Ranch for fantastic deer and turkey hunts. Call 706-672-4849. For more information on booking a hunt on the Encinitas Ranch, call Mac Burns at 800-222-3824. For unbelievable deer and turkey hunts in Pennsylvania, call Jeff Scavazzo at Strut and Rut Lodge, 717-553-2659. To hunt the Gould's turkey in Mexico, contact Miguel Puig at Wing Shooters Lodge, 011-52-64-149-934. This has been a Realtree Outdoor production.